of this entire company.
So, what you're telling me is that the music is about to stop, and we're going to be left holding the biggest bag of odorous excrement ever assembled in the history of capitalism.
Sir, I'm not sure that I would put it that way, but let me clarify. Using your analogy, what this model shows is the music, so to speak, just slowing. If the music were to stop, as you put it, then this model wouldn't be even close to that scenario. It would be considerably worse.
Let me tell you something, Mr. Sullivan. Do you care to know why I'm in this chair with you all? I mean, why I earn the big bucks?
Yes.
I'm here for one reason and one reason alone. I'm here to guess what the music might do a week, a month, a year from now. That's it. Nothing more. And standing here tonight, I'm afraid that I don't hear a thing. Just silence.
All right. So, at the risk of getting this copyright blocked, I wanted to start with that clip. If it gets blocked, I'll upload it later. But I recently was pleasantly surprised to run into a series of quotes, images that really reinforced to me just how linear or direct the NI function is compared to all the other functions. And I think what I mean by that is it is the type of observation that we all secretly want, or that we all secretly think we have, right? This ability to predict the future, this ability to simulate the future. Now, there's a lot of things that I need to unpack here, so I will do so. Step one is going to be pulling up the checklist. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm like super, I wanted to use that clip so much. I guess I'm being an EP right now, but anyway, let me go ahead and get started here. So we got to start with defining terms. I'm using words like linear, direct, like those aren't OP terms. Where the hell is this coming from? Basically, I've been trying to consolidate all of OP into two major categories, which is either, linear or circular, or, where did that come from? Basically, several conversations I had last year, along with just me going over the We Are Selfish Q&A a lot, made me realize that Dave and Shan have an underlying proposal that everyone is ultimately selfish. There are just some people who get distracted from that selfishness, or who are more cautious about their selfishness than other people. So, for example, they talk about how DI and OI are selfish, but observers get distracted by things instead of the decider game, and then DE gets distracted by others instead of the the DI game. And so for me, I make the argument that all binary coins in the OP system fall into that category, right? There's one that's more immediately selfish, and then there's one that's more distracted or more cautious, in my opinion. So getting into OI or NI is composed of two different parts, right? So NI is the combination of organizing known information and getting certainty and familiarity. And then N, which is using the abstract, guessing, summarizing, abstract, things like that, to really categorize things. Now, I think so what I'm basically claiming is, much like in that clip that might be copyrighted, god damn it, NI is ultimately responsible for simulating possible futures and then identifying what might occur a week, a month, a year from now, right, in his words, and then ultimately finding ways to get to the desired destination, right? It's like the most goal-oriented observation function. And so now, why would I say that this is the most linear? I mean, there are people who don't have NI, right? Even in their stack, I don't have NI, right? So what do I mean when I say that it's the most linear, the most direct form of observation? Well, I think, first and foremost, I think at the end of the day, I'm going to play a clip for you from hopefully something that's not copyrighted. Oh my God. But basically, we have to realize that when it comes to perception, we don't actually want what's around us. We don't actually even want the sensory thing that even censors get very hung up on. We're ultimately wanting a desired future that is anticipated, right? So we're trying to guess or get to a simulated future, and everyone's doing that, regardless of what's been going on. So let me go ahead and share this. This is going to be an interview from James Clear, where he talks about this principle, and basically you'll see how this applies to NI. Now, caveat, right? James Clear is Savior NI. He's double activated NI. But what he talks about when it comes to perception is kind of a universal. So let's get into that. Play.
Talk about this concept about the anticipation of the reward motivating the action as opposed to the action itself.
So you don't actually do something for the reward. You do it for the image that the reward creates in your mind. If you go to Amazon and you buy Atomic Habits, or you buy some book or whatever, you aren't actually buying the book. You can't, because you don't have it yet. What you're buying is the image that that sales page creates in your mind. You're buying the expectation that it will be a good book. And the reward of actually having the book or reading the thing only comes afterward. It only comes after the action. And this, I think, is another reason why I added that second stage to my habit loop. I believe this is true for pretty much all human behaviors and actions. It is actually the anticipation that it will be good that gets you to lift it up. The reason that I take a drink of this tea is not because I like the tea. I haven't drank it yet. It's because I anticipate that having a sip will taste good. And so it's actually the anticipation or the hope, the prediction of what is to come that motivates all actions to occur.
Right. Now, granted, again, caveat again, right? He's double activated NI, so to some extent, he's kind of, talking as saviors. But this is true in all situations. I mean, this is just a principle of human perception. There is always a craving or a anticipated reward whenever we're doing any action, right? I mean, that's the reason why, for example, what's the word? Or the neurotransmitter. I mean, of course, dopamine, but I think it's a mixture of dopamine, and then there are several other neurotransmitters that whenever you look at something that's desirable, you are craving the reward that you are expecting in the future. I mean, this is the basis of Pavlovian conditioning in the psychological field, right? Where you can basically, train people to want something in the future based on, even some simple cues like ringing a bell and things like that, right? We crave the future, even if it's on an unconscious or on emotional level, right? And so NI is the best function to do that. Not only is it the best function to do that, it, not only NI the function, but the combination of intuition and OI in my perception. Because first and foremost, OI is more direct about what it wants. It has its way, right? And it's introverted, so it's not being distracted by the outside world. And then intuition is not being distracted by the sensory. Because one thing you have to notice is with sensors, the only reason from what I'm seeing, the only reason censors get so hung up on the facts isn't because they necessarily are in love with the facts, but they're trying to be certain that whatever future they're getting or whatever future they're being promised is actually something that's grounded in the real world. They want to make sure that they're not being sold a bunch of bullshit. So that's why they insist on proving things so much. And, whereas with NI, they're not really any intuitive function, so both NI and NE, there isn't that urge to prove. They're going to go straight for the conclusion. Now, they may run into troubles in the real world as a consequence of that because they didn't do the fact checking, but they are moving faster towards what they want than sensors. Sensors get slowed down, bogged down by the facts or the proof that they feel burdened to satisfy before moving forward, right? And so this is a simple video. I feel like this copyright thing is going to bother me. I really wanted that clip at the start. So, at the risk of you not hearing anything I just said, I hope all of this ties together. In summary, NI, the combination of OI and intuition is the most linear. It is something that we all secretly want based on this notion, once again, that Dave and Shan are saying we all are selfish and we all go for certain things, but some of us just get distracted more than others, right? And OI is not getting distracted by the options, right? And then the intuition is not getting distracted by the proof, right? It's not getting distracted by the examples, right? It's just going straight for the goal. And since we're all goal-oriented creatures, and since we all have this, desire for the future, even before we do anything, I would argue that NI is the most direct way of getting from A to B. Let's put it that way. So I'm gonna play this. I'm gonna hopefully upload this. Hopefully it plays back. There's gonna be a copyright claim for sure, so I'm not gonna get paid. But then hopefully I don't get copyright striked. But whatever. Had to be an EP about it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope it made sense to you guys. And I will see you guys in this video. Take care.